Macca's Reviews.
Hey guys, Macca here. Welcome to my first impressions / informal review of Forza Motorsport 5, released on the Xbox One on November 22nd, 2013 alongside the console. So I want to start off the review with a little bit of my Forza history so you guys can get a little bit of a sense of where I'm coming from in this review. Keep in mind I do review games on a regular basis, but Forza does hold a little bit of a special place in my heart. I've played every single Forza since the first one, and I've probably put at least 20 hours into every single iteration, including Forza Horizon, and I get quite excited about them, and I get really into them. Now to move on to what this game does well, it still is a Forza game, which is saying a lot. Forza does have a name in the simulation racer market. When you buy a Forza, you know you're getting a game with amazing graphics, engine sounds, customizability, track models, all that stuff. You know you're getting a great racing experience. The engine sounds still sound great, and the biggest and baddest introduction to this game that changes it more so than any other game. This is the biggest revolution of the racing genre in a very, very long time. It's something they named Drivatar. So what is Drivatar? Drivatar is a cloud-based service that gathers information about racers' preferences and what they do when they're racing and compiles it into a AI that then they put into the other cars that you race against. So what does that mean? That means cars make mistakes, cars drive differently, cars drive like humans and interact with other cars like humans, and that is awesome. You really feel like there's something completely different with this AI that you have never experienced in any other racing game. It makes for variety, makes for exciting races, and it's just basically awesome. There's also the Top Gear additions to the game, similar to Forza 4, although it's more apparent in this one. There's a lot more Top Gear orientated stuff. I'm a fan of Top Gear, therefore that is a good thing. Now moving on to some of the not so great things about this game, and unfortunately is kind of a long list that deteriorates from the great gameplay that I just talked about. First of all, the music is terrible. It sounds like Wii menu music or like Wii Sports bowling like background music. It's not good. It is like an orchestral violin type sound, which usually can be a good thing, although it feels like this game has like 2 songs on repeat. They get really, really repetitive. They don't fit the game in my opinion, and I always liked Forza because it had a lot of great tracks in it, a lot of great music going on during the races that added to the experience, and this didn't do it for me at all. Another thing, some of the things in the game have been dumbed down for the general public, so if you're a racing guy like me who's really into Forza, you might find that some of those things kind of get in the way. One of those things, as an example, is the auto upgrade ability, which is really, really pushed onto people, and the problem is that it sucks. It really, really makes your car terrible, makes it not handle well, makes it slow. And that's what most people are going to get if you don't go out of your way to customize your car on your own. Speaking about cars, there are only about 200 in this game. Forza 1 through 4 had about 1,000 each, and 200 feels okay, but it feels like, to me personally, 300 to 400 would have been a better range for them to focus on. I feel like there were some cars missing that I really, really wanted to see. Simple cars like the back mono was missing, and other cars that we've seen in the previous iterations that I really wanted to see in this game just aren't available. And there's only 17 tracks, which again, I don't mind that there's 17 tracks, but it does feel like there's not a hell of a lot of variety. Now another thing to me that was a problem were the options. They're very, very limited. There are no custom public multiplayer lobbies. That's something that lacked from Forza Motorsport 3. And the community complained quite a bit about it, so they added it back into 4, and then they took it out for 5. I don't know why they did that. It takes a huge hit to the multiplayer. There's no storefront, which includes like auctions. You can't sell your cars online. You can't really sell your paint jobs. As far as I can tell, the system works a lot differently. You can't hire a driver for simulations, which I also enjoyed as part of the game. Now another big hit to me is the fact that you cannot sell cars inside of the campaign. I will repeat myself because you might have been stunned at what I said and you might think I might have misspoke, but you cannot sell your cars in the campaign. So if you're like me and you buy a car and you hate it, you can't sell it to get half your money back to invest it into something else. And that becomes a problem when you pay $1 million to buy a car and you can only make $500,000 by playing events off of it, it does become a problem. I don't know why they did this. I have no clue why they did this, but they did. Another problem I found personally was the progression and the money system in the game. So after about 10 hours of gameplay, I had about $1 million in total money made. That seems kind of slow to me, especially when there's a lot of supercars in this game that you're going to want to buy pretty early on, or at least experience. For example, the Lotus E21, it's like the Lotus F1 car. That's a car I really want to get my hands on, and I don't mind that it costs $6 million in game, because that's the price of it. That's what I have to pay to drive it. Unfortunately, at the pace I'm going at now, it's going to take me 60 hours to unlock that car. That is just too long for someone like me to be able to play this game just to unlock my one dream car. So they provided me with the option to buy in-game tokens. So how do tokens work? You buy tokens and you can use those tokens to buy cars. To buy the Lotus E21, which is $6 million, it costs somewhere around 10,000 tokens. How much does that cost in real life? $60 to $70. They are asking me to pay $60 of real money just to unlock one car in the game. That is a little excessive. So I don't like that. The money, you don't earn enough money. The progression's kind of slow, and that kind of hits home with the delivery of this game. The gameplay, let me repeat this. The gameplay is amazing, but the delivery of that gameplay through the menus, the options, and the way they structured the game really takes a giant hit. So to conclude the interview, I want you to focus on some of the words I said previously, and I'm not going to score it because I don't score games where I do first impressions. I really enjoyed the gameplay. The experience is a lot worse than some of the older Forzas based on a few of the factors that they decided to go with. So keep that in mind. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the review. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. Those are the 3 things that help my channel grow and let me continue making videos. Hopefully I see you next time. As always, peace.